Hi, I'm Dean Meyer. Are you under pressure to do more with less? Let's talk about why that's not possible, what the consequences of attempting to do that are, and what you can do to cure it once and for all. Is do more with less possible? What, do you have people sitting around wasting time and money? Have you failed to pursue cost savings with your vendors for all these years? Have you failed to improve your processes all these years? Of course not. You've been working hard to save money, and things cost what they cost. Sure, you're going to get better value year after year. You'll continually improve. You'll continually save money. But at this point in time, things cost what they cost, right? So you're not going to do more with less. You're going to do less with less. Now, what happens if you are under pressure from top executives to cut your budget and yet continue to deliver all the same products and services? What happens if they ask you to, or demand that you do more with less, and you say, oh, okay. Well, what are you going to do? You're going to stop some infrastructure investments that you know you need to sustain the business? You're going to stop training your people? You're going to stop investing in process improvements? You're going to be eating your seed corn? You know that's not a long-term strategy. That's not leadership. What you're doing is making your whole organization less and less productive until the whole thing is outsourced, until the whole thing falls apart. That's not leadership. Or are you going to make promises and then fail to deliver? Cut corners on quality, take risks, or just fail altogether to deliver on promise? Now, whose reputation suffers then? Not theirs, yours. It makes no sense to simply say yes to an impossible demand. We've got to tell executives the truth. The answer to this problem is things have a cost, a true cost, to your shareholders, taxpayers, or donors. And they're going to get cheaper over time, but now they cost what they cost. If we need to save money, the business has to decide what it's going to not buy from you. Now, when I say buy, I don't mean chargebacks. I don't mean that money changes hands. But basically, for a given level of budget, you can only deliver so much. What we've got to do is work with the business to decide what products and services you will and won't do for a given level of funding. What we're talking about here is a paradigm shift, a change in the way we look at our jobs. Think of the old paradigm. It goes like this. We give you this budget, and it's not all you'd ask for, but it's still a lot of money. It's yours to manage as you see fit. We're not quite sure what it pays for. Sure, you know you can't travel, but we don't know what to really expect of you. But do the best you can with it. Now, in trade for that, we clients out there in the business get to demand anything we can dream of all year long. And it's your fault if you can't deliver infinite service on a fixed budget. How's that for a deal? Not possible. So what's the new paradigm? Think of yourself as a business within a business. And again, I'm not talking about money changing hands. Just think like an entrepreneur. You'll sell anything the business wishes to pay for a fair price. So step one, submit a budget not for what you plan to spend, that is not for your compensation and travel and training. Oh, sure, they can look at that. But at the end of the day, what they want to see is a budget for the products and services you propose to deliver in the year ahead. I call that investment-based budgeting. Now, executives can make budget decisions based on the needs of the business. Not last year minus a few percent, arbitrary numbers, squeaky wheel, whatever, but rather based on the true cost of the things they need to run the business. The second paradigm shift occurs after you get the budget. Once you get the budget, it's not yours to do with as you see fit. Rather, think of it as a prepaid account. Money put on deposit with you in order to buy your products and services all year long. It's sitting on your books, sure, but it belongs to the business. It belongs to your clients, and they write the checks. What they'll do is write checks for all the service level agreements to keep the lights on all year long, and that may consume 60, maybe 80% of that budget, and they'll have a little left over in their checkbook, that is your budget, to pay for projects and services that are discretionary. But when they write the checks, they'll naturally choose those things that are most important to them. You'll be automatically aligned with business strategies. And of course the catch here is they have to live within their means. They can't expect of you more than they can afford to buy. So supply and demand are in balance. You've managed expectations. You've aligned with the business. Everybody understands what value you're delivering, and you no longer have to eat your seed corn. That's the new paradigm, business within a business. There's one really important thing you need to do to make the new paradigm work. You've got to be able to describe your products and services and the full cost to taxpayers, shareholders, or donors of each. To do that means you need to define your product service catalog, not what you do, but what you sell at the end of the day, what your customers own or consume as a result of your work. Then, with that product service catalog, you'll forecast what you plan to sell in the year ahead. That's the basis for a budget, a sales forecast, if you will. And okay, we won't use the word sales internally, but you know what I mean. Based on that sales forecast, you can then understand how you're going to go about fulfilling it. What staff do you need? Both employees and contractors. What vendors do you need and other costs? And you flow those costs into your plan, and what you have now is a business plan for the year ahead. A cost engine can then associate the indirect costs with your products and services, and what comes out the end is two things. One is a budget for your products and services, both a baseline and an optimistic, speculative budget with those projects that you hope they'll fund. And also coming out of that same business planning process are your rates that become the basis for any sane governance process. The key to making all this work, know your products and services and the full costs of each.